You do. You have to pick out a watch band if you're buying that shiny new Apple Watch Ultra. It's really the only decision that you have to make. The watch body itself only comes in one option. It's the 49mm titanium watch body with a sapphire lens, and there's no color options. You're stuck with that high contrast international orange action button and the slight accent color on that digital crown. At least that's the case for the first generation of the Apple Watch Ultra. The only decision that you have to make is which watch band is right for you. And I know this probably makes me sound weird, but I struggled with that decision. Now, Apple introduced the Apple Watch back in 2014.
Apple Watch.
They really haven't changed the way that watch bands attach or lock into the watch body itself. What's even better is that standard seems to be open to third parties. So in this video, we will touch on third-party watch bands a bit, but first, we need to talk about that initial decision that you'll have to make if you're buying the Apple Watch Ultra. And of course, Apple makes 3 watch band options for the Apple Watch Ultra. You've got the Alpine Loop. It comes in white, green, or orange. They make a Trail Loop, which comes in blue, gray, black gray, or yellow beige. And then Apple makes the Ocean Band, which comes in white, yellow, or midnight. And the Ocean Band was actually the one I was least interested in because to me, it just looked the most bulky. And not to spoil this video, but I definitely think I was wrong about that. You see, I think it comes down to what activity types you do or you do most with your Apple Watch Ultra. If you're a runner, easy, get the Trail Loop. If you're a hiker, the Alpine Loop. If you're a deep sea diver, get the Ocean Band. But I'm a triathlete, so I don't know where that puts me. I swim some, so maybe I need the Ocean Band. I even wear a wetsuit sometimes. But to me, the Ocean Band looked a bit bulky, so I ended up settling on the Trail Loop, and I ended up settling for the black gray edition. It has this orange little pull tab on it, and it's lightweight, it's stretchy, it's actually designed for endurance athletes. It's easy to adjust the tightness of the band with just a pull on that tab, so tighten it up for runs and then loosen it up a little bit more for day-to-day stuff. I think it's great. If running is your thing or you prioritize lightweight, thin, stretchy materials, I do think that you'll be happy with the Trail Loop. But it's definitely not perfect. I've primarily been using it as my watch band of choice over the last 100 days or so, and 2 things I don't like about it are that it stays pretty wet and soggy after a swim or a shower, or even like a sweaty run, I guess, which is kind of gross. Quick tip, I've kind of gotten into the pattern of taking it off after I swim, having it sit on my desk and charge while the Trail Loop dries out a little bit. But then second thing, I've also noticed some discoloration on the orange tab itself of the watch band. I did try to fix that by soaking the Trail Loop in OxyClean and then kind of scrubbing it a little bit here. I think that helped a good bit, but it's still not perfect, and it's definitely not super resistant to any sort of staining. I would say just keep in mind that this is the dark band. I can't even imagine how beige yellow color would look after a few months of wear. Now the Trail Loop is probably the worst watch band for open water swimming that you have here as an option, and yet it's probably the watch band that I've worn the most when swimming in my local lake. Knock on wood, I haven't had the Velcro detach when swimming. I haven't lost my entire Apple Watch Ultra to the bottom of the lake, and I haven't had any close calls yet. Now, would I recommend this to you guys? Probably not. If open water swimming is really your thing, the Trail Loop, it's probably the worst option that you have. But if you have no other choices and you're racing a triathlon or something like that, definitely would suggest first, starting your timer for the race itself and then flipping your wetsuit sleeve up and over the watch to kind of keep it in place a little bit. Now onto the Alpine Loop. And in some ways, I actually think that this is the watch band that looks best with the Apple Watch. Maybe it's just because that's the one that has the majority of the marketing behind it. But it might also be the most durable. Now, I haven't had any durability issues with really any of the watch bands so far in any of my testing, but I think that the watch band has some of the same issues that the Trail Loop has. The Alpine Loop will hold on to moisture after swimming or taking a shower. And then this 9 style clasp piece, I think it's gorgeous. It's a corrosion resistant titanium G-shaped hook, but it's also a bit more difficult than other watch bands to tighten or loosen, especially if you kind of tighten your watch before runs to get better heart rate accuracy. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, the Ocean Band, which was the watch band that I was actually least interested in a lot of ways, but may also be the most functional after having used it a few weeks. It's recommended for extreme water sports because it's less likely to fall off. It doesn't have any sort of hook or any sort of Velcro. It's just a traditional clasp. Now, all the metal parts for any of these bands are made of titanium. In this case, the buckle and the little watch band keeper or the band retainer, I don't know exactly what they call this part of the watch. Let me know in the comments section. But that little watch band keeper loop has an internal spring to allow you to pull it open and move it up and down the Ocean watch band for better retention of the watch band itself. Now, Apple is selling each of these watch bands as a standalone product for $99, which personally I think is a little bit steep. This Trail Loop in particular, even though in some ways it's my favorite, it's just a nylon and Velcro strap. I really do think that Apple should consider adjusting the prices on some of these items. And yes, you know, Apple is known for having higher prices than a lot of retailers that are out there, but they're also the company that brought us the 99-cent song from iTunes. Now, all of that being said, I definitely don't regret purchasing the Trail Loop with my Apple Watch Ultra. It's still my favorite of the 3. It's just not one that I would recommend for you guys to purchase with your Apple Watch Ultra. And I'll get to the reason in a minute, but I do think that we should all be considering third-party options at this point. And I know some of you guys will never even fathom of that idea, but personally, I've had very good luck, so just hear me out for a second. This would just be an alternative to the watch band that you've already got, the one that you purchased with your Apple Watch Ultra, but you can get 4 colors of the 9 style or G style strap, the Alpine Loop for $20, or you can get a 2-pack of Trail Loops, the nylon band style for $16, or a 5-pack of the Ocean Band style straps for $24. So 2 to 5 times more watch band options for a quarter of the price. And no, they're definitely not the same quality, obviously. These watch bands aren't gonna have titanium clasps, definitely not at these price points. And I don't think that they have quite the same manufacturing tolerance. So what you might see is just this little jiggle right where the clasp body attaches to the watch body.
Jiggle, it folds. I like to see you.
And to be honest, you know, when these are on, I don't notice that jiggle. I just know that you guys are gonna call me out on it. And I'll be happy to change my mind, especially if Apple drops its prices down to the land of the reasonable. I'm happy to pay a little bit more for Apple's better manufacturing, their tighter quality control, and their better materials. I just don't want to be price gouged for a watch band. The other thing to keep in mind is that Apple doesn't sell these little parts individually. So if you lose the little Ocean Band clasp piece, you're out of luck. I mean, there's no other option except for, you know, paying an extra $100 for a new one, or maybe buying a cheaper watch band and taking the clasp from that one and applying it to your higher end Apple watch band. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that these prices for watch bands are a little out of control. Let me know in the comments section. I'm happy to continue the whole price of watch bands discussion down in the comments section. But my overall suggestion is to go with something like the Ocean Band or potentially the Alpine Loop, especially if you like the look of the Alpine Loop. I do think a lot of people really prefer the way that that one looks. I think the Ocean Band is probably the best value because, again, you're getting more titanium parts with that particular watch band. And then I'd also suggest picking up a few alternative knockoff versions. That is, unless Apple lowers its prices, which I don't know, it could happen. And I'd highly recommend picking up one of those trail loop options just because I still find it to be my favorite of the 3 watch bands. I just wouldn't want to overpay for it. Although I guess I did kind of overpay for it by buying it with my Apple Watch Ultra. Hopefully you guys learn from my mistakes. But either way, be sure you're getting out there swimming, biking, running, rinsing, and repeating it all over again. And we will see you guys on the next one.